problem with these glasses is I can't see close up here, but I can see down here. So these are no good when I'm using my screen because I'm focused right here, which is about 18 inches. That's where I'm focused. I need things to focus between this distance, and that's what helps me. This is focused right here. All right, so let me put these over here. All right, we have some new things that are going to go on, and I just want to start. I want to start today's show in a new format. We're going to be doing a new format. We're going to be doing something different that I've never done before. Well, actually, I've done it before, but so these cheap Chinese. They're just junk. They're just junk. Chinese junk. You pay for what you get. You pay for what you get. I'm telling you, you pay for what you get. And these things are absolutely junk. Absolutely junk. All right, let me get Xavier's things ready. I already printed off all his labels. All right, so the first thing, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, when I do the Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, the first thing I'm going to do, and Snuggles kind of mentioned this on Friday, I'm going to do a monologue, and it's going to be a 20-minute monologue. It'll be the first 20 minutes. I'm going to give you my opinion about a lot of things, and then I'm going to go into the show as best I can. But I'm going to give you my monologue. Today's monologue is why you never why you never bet against America. Never do it. Never do it. Never do it. Never do it. Not saying that we are, we're the greatest and that, we can't be defeated and, we're this great nation and, 9-4. These are some cars that were purchased, but I have to put them away because they're not supposed to be here. We got this white Mustang. Let me put these away first, and then I'll give you my my monologue. 68, 104, 103. All right, so let me go down to Auto World so I can give you my 20-minute monologue. I'm waiting because normally I wait the first 10 minutes because everybody's kind of getting up. Everybody's getting ready. They're trying to decide what they're going to do today. And okay. So I'll give you my monologue. This is my monologue for Monday. My monologue for Monday. Now, I've told people many times that I respected Bill Clinton. I didn't respect him as necessarily, he's, how do you look at this? Like, he's kind of like my dad, was just a very immoral man, but my dad was great at what he did. He was a real estate developer. My dad, I might have told you this, my dad could take a piece of property. He could envision Okay, I don't know how he did this, but I'm going to get to that. Just everybody calm down. My dad could take a piece of property and envision whatever building he wanted to be put on it. That's what my dad's job was. And he worked for Stop and Shop. He worked for Food Town Corporation. His bad days in life was when he divorced my mom, but that's just the way it is. He got his job, his real job in 1970 was working for Stop and Shop Corporation in Connecticut, which he thrived at, and he retired from there, and he got a excellent retirement, even though he quit and came back. But he was great at what he did. And Bill Clinton, you know, you could flaw if you can knock him for certain things, but what he understood was politics. He understood how do you get along with the opposition leaders, and he was a politician, pure and simple. He knew how to get along with the Republicans. He realized, hey, if I'm going to be doing what I'm going to do, then I'm going to need to do this. And Bill Clinton knew that, and I commend him. He understood, hey, for this to happen, I need to cut these, I need to do this, and it worked. Now, with what's going on with the global, it seems like, okay, first of all, let me make this very clear. And that's why I have no fears about anything that's going on, okay? And I'm not saying that I'm giving Trump a divine, that he's some miracle man or he's some divine, God that I'm going to be worshiping. No, that's farthest from the truth. All I know is this. Okay, all I know, yes, he understood interns. And Adam is 6 away from 600. Hey, Adam, it's my show right now. Yes, I know. I've been telling about people. You need to get 500 people onto your show. Yes. Bill was a born politician. Very, very true. Yes. But here's the thing that people have got to understand. And there's a lot of people that are slowly understanding it, but there are a lot of people that do not understand it, or that maybe they don't want to understand it. Is that when you take a bullet to your head that was this far from killing you, okay, and then you survive an almost guy that was going to take you out, that changes you 100%, okay? It changes you 100%, okay? You are not the same person if all of a sudden you're standing there and you just turn your head a half inch and a bullet misses your head by that distance, okay? I'm sure, and you cannot tell me that Trump does not have dreams of that bullet whizzing by his head. You can't tell me that, okay? Now, what that does is that gives a guy a focus that you cannot change, okay? You don't change his focus. There's nothing that is going to change Trump's focus. Okay? That's all there is to it. So, and all I'm saying to people is, you know what? You might as well just sit back and ride and enjoy everything that's going to happen in the next 4 years. Because I've told this to people many times. I said, this will be the most exciting 4 years of my entire life. Okay? Now, that being said, you know, the problem with the tariff is that the Chinese never agree to anything. They cheat about everything. They never follow through on a trade agreement. They're always they just don't do it. They didn't agree with the last one. So we have to take that from a grain of salt. Then we have the Pakistan deal. Now we've got him going over there tomorrow, which there's supposed to be big things happening this week. Things are moving so fast, it's crazy. Okay, now let us examine my physical health. Okay, so yes, I need to lose some weight. Okay, so here's what I've finally agreed to upon. I basically I've had 2 pops. I had one on Saturday and one yesterday, and they were both of them were the first one I had. I went with David and Frankie, and where did we go? Oh yeah, we went to Chick-fil-A on Saturday, or what day did we go to Chick-fil-A? Anyways, I had smalls. So from now on, I am not getting a large drink. I'm only getting the small Cokes. Whenever it's a small, I'm just getting smalls, okay? And I'm only having Coke on weekends. Saturdays and Sundays is the only day that I can drink Coke, is Saturday and Sundays. And I am going to try to eat basically portion meals, okay? You didn't go there Sunday. No, I didn't go there Sunday. No, I couldn't have gone Sunday. Yeah, the Chinese cheat. Yes, I know they do. But I think something is going to change this time. Now, I might be naive. Okay, a lot of people say, well, Brian, you're naive. Okay, and I could be. I just know that I think we've hit a impasse, and I think things are going to change. Okay, I really do. I think that there is going to be a dramatic change. I don't have the trays for the Brock cars or I don't have the trays for the Brock cars or 410 or 415. Could you get them down here, please? Okay, so there are 3 cars that I'm going to be going over today. Oh, 410. Oh, I see. Oh, they are here. Never mind, I found them. I just need the Brock cars, 404. Ford Mustang. Okay, so we have all the new cars I'm going to go over. So basically, my diet is going to be more controlled, okay? I am not going to eat, like for this weekend, I had 1 cookie yesterday. I had 2 cookies on Saturday. And I had hot dogs. I ate a lot of hot dogs this weekend, okay? And I'm cutting my pop consumption. I'm cutting that in by 3/4. So I had no pops at all yesterday, other than lunch and on Saturday when we went to Chick-fil-A. We did go Chick-fil-A on Saturday, and I had a small 12-ounce cup. And then we had and then I've had glasses of water, 12-ounce glasses, 16 ounces of water. So when I have lunch, I have a huge glass of water. So I'm drinking 5 times more water than I was drinking before. Okay. Now, is this going to be easy? No, of course not. Okay. t- and so what the heck? Taking Jesse and the boys to the zoo. Grandpa, you want to jump in and go with us? Peanuts and Pop? No, I don't want peanuts and Pop. I'm doing a live stream. Anything in the box or package? Anything in the box. Drink water. Yes, I'm going to be drinking water a lot more. So, it is going to be, I like food. I like to eat. Everybody does. Okay. I'm going to shrink my portions. I'm going to shrink them by 75% or 3/4. And so I am going to, just get on a different direction. And bacon and eggs every day. Good. All of a sudden lately, I just have not had any taste for eggs. I don't know why. I just don't have any desire to eat any eggs. Now, I don't know why that is. I just don't have a desire to eat eggs. Bacon, I don't mind bacon. Just eat your fruit for breakfast. What's torturing your? Okay, that's torturing. Let's see. That's torturing yourself. It's Kathy's fruit. Eat all you want. Eat all you want. No, I don't want to eat all I want. Okay. All right. So we had a really busy weekend. We had some really good sales, which are very exciting. And we're going to go over the cars that I went over last week. I want to go over them again to kind of give you an idea of what we have. And we're going to go over the SC415. So if you're just now getting into slot cars, okay, yes, Thomas, eat smart. That's what I'm doing. I'm eating smart. That's a very good I'm eating smart. For example, last night I was making dinner for the kids. Now, okay, so I got the hot dogs out, okay? So, and we were going to make cheese dogs, okay? And I looked at the package and I said, okay, so how much, normally you would say, well, we're going to make 2 hot dogs. Well, the portion, if I go by the military portion, which is on every package you look at, the portions say 1 hot dog. So I made them a really nice cheese hot dog. I gave them some grapes and I gave them some chips. And I buy these little red cheese things that you can get at Costco and Sam's. I don't know what they're called. They're red cheese things around. And so I gave them 1 hot dog. Actually, 1.5. I cut a bunch of extras in half and I split them. Okay. Talking about losing weight, segue into making cheese dogs. Ha 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 ha. Fresh eggs from my neighbors can't be bad. We get fresh eggs. We get fresh eggs from my wife's friend that she teaches. We get $2 a dozen. We get them. Red dye 40. That's right. So I gave the kids. I had 1 hot dog, and I took just 1 portion of chips, which is basically it's like 2 ounces, and so I measured all the ounces. So I got like 15 chips. Okay, and then I took 10 grapes. And I had a 12-ounce glass of water, okay? And that was my dinner, okay? I had no snacks last night. I didn't eat any snacks last night. I did, after lunch, I did eat some popcorn. I love popcorn. Now, some people say, well, that's fattening. Popcorn's fattening. Okay, well, you know that. And so I just had one little thing of popcorn. That was it. It's all about, and so I'm trying to go by portions. Yesterday at dinner, you know, I let the kids split a meal, and I just had a half of the fajita. I just ate the meat and the peppers and a little bit of rice. That's all I had. And then I had some chips. I didn't eat as many chips as I normally had. Now I did have a Mexican Coke. Okay, then that's all I had yesterday. I didn't have a Coke later in the day. I didn't. Normally I'll have a Coke when I have dinner. I didn't. I had a whole water. Cut out the bread, and I tried to cut out the bread. I'm not using 2 slices. I'm just using 1 slice. And then what I do with the bread is I cut away all of the crust. I cut it into a piece of square, okay? Because I don't want all that extra crust, okay? I just eat the center, basically. Now, I know this is boring to a lot of you guys, but you know what? I told Kathy I'd like to lose 50 pounds by July 4th, okay? Now, you're saying that's impossible. Well, yes, that is normally the true if you're an average person, but I walk all the time. I'm constantly moving. It's, you know, I'm only sitting down maybe of the day, maybe 4 hours of the day am I sitting down. I got my camper almost ready. I sanitized the tank yesterday, and we're going to be going camping next Friday with the boys. And so we got that all done. The camper is all ready, all cleaned up, all snuffy duffy, and we're ready to go. Now, let's get into what is everybody's really main emphasis is slot cars, okay? Now, we are not currently buying any new 132nd car, okay? We, and maybe that is my problem, and maybe that is, we just don't have the room for it right now. Now, we sell lots of slot cars. We sell a lot of 130. Now, I have a lot of 132nd because I bought a ton of, or a lot of stuff from REH. We got a lot of fly cars, Ninko cars. I have a ton of cars. Let's put it that way. And so if somebody wants 70 pounds in 90 days is proof. Okay, 70 pounds in 90 days. Well, I'm going to try, okay? And I might start walking tomorrow morning, okay? And if you are watching, if you want to watch me when I do my live stream when I'm walking, it's going to be under Brian Young on Facebook. And so you're going to need to subscribe to that channel so that when I go live, you'll know when I go live. Because when I talk, I don't talk anything business. I only talk, I talk other issues, non-business issues on my ProTinker personal stuff. All right, so we have a great assortment that is selling extremely well. Brian's Walks will premiere tomorrow morning. So we have a series, SC415, that is excelling extremely well, okay? SC415, I'm telling you, it is selling extremely well. And people are buying it like I told them to. They just buy 4 cars. They pick 4 of their favorite cars of the colors, and they buy those 4. Because there's 8 cars total. You have the Chaparral, you have the Corvette Grand Sport, the Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe, and you have the 1966 Ford GT Mustang. Okay, and there are 2 colors of the GT Mustang. You have the green and the red. Nice, beautiful colors. And a lot of people start collecting these. They start lining them up, okay? People don't recognize me. 38 to 40, 34 to 36. 38, 40, 30. Well, you know what? I showed a picture to My silent mic of me what I looked like in the Navy. And she said, that wasn't you. I go, oh, yeah, it was. People don't understand that I was 155 pounds when I went into the Navy. 6'2", 155. Now, you would say to yourself, well, that you were awful thin. Yes, I was. I was a bean pole. I was literally a bean pole. I mean, that's all you could say of me. I was just tall. I was 6'2", and I was a bean pole. My waist when I went into the Navy was a 32. 32 or a 28. I think it was a 30. It might have been a 30. So these are the two newest Ford Mustangs, and these are Ford GTs. Daily weigh-in. No, I'm not going to do a daily weigh-in. I burn off a lot of energy, okay? I'm just going to control the amount of stuff going into my mouth, okay? And I'm cutting out a lot of sweets that I normally eat. I've got a ton of stuff. So here's what I thought I would do. Since I already have this junk that I have already here, I already have little Reese's cups. I already have all that stuff. I bought Twinkies and I just shouldn't have done it. But I'm not going to throw all that away, okay? Let's see your cart. What's in it? Nothing's in it. My cart has nothing in it. Okay, I mean, if you really want me to show it to you, I mean, that's pretty pathetic for me to have to show you my cart. Show you anything. There's nothing in the cart. I got my hint water. That's all there is to it. There's my cart. I don't have anything in it, okay? Adam, I hope you're happy now. You insult me like that. Unbelievable. Okay, gosh. All right, so we have the GT40s. This is an assortment. I would say if there was an assortment that I would buy over anything else right now, that is the GT Icons, okay? This is just a beautiful assortment. I told you that the reason why I like the assortment because it's similar to the Looney Tunes Space Jams, exactly 4 cars. I told them last year or a year, early last year, hey, you need to do these cars, but you need to do them in regular colors, and that's what they did, GT Icons. And these are the Ford Mustangs, or Ford GTs. You got the 92 and the 08, green and red. We got a lot of orders, so when Xavier gets here, he will then bring me all the slot cars, and I'll pull you all the slot cars, because we have sold a ton of stuff, man. Oh, my goodness. This week was a busy week. So that's the 4th car of the assortment. And this is one of my favorite cars right here. This is the Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe. Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe. And there's the blue and the green. Beautiful color combination. No, where are they though? Why aren't they here?
They're getting inventoried right now.
Oh, well, I don't want that. I want them here.
Well, that's what you get right now. They're not done. That's just what you get.
So these are the Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupes. This is a pretty car right here. Where is Mr. Fish? I think Mr. Fish got mad at me. Now, I'm not mad at him, okay? And Mr. Fish is always welcome on my channel. There's nothing Mr. Fish could ever say to me that I would take offensive, okay? So Mr. Fish is always welcome. And he might be watching right now. He just might not be commenting. So I'm always open to Mr. Fish. So these are the Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupes. These are just beautiful cars. There's not very many of these done. No, it does. This does look like a Hot Wheel car. I think that's what Auto World should start doing is being creative in their colors and their decals. Just being creative, outside the box. What do you have to lose? Just do a special crazy car. And that's the Shelby no taker update. I called them yesterday or Friday, and there's no update. So this is car number 3, and these are the I'm just going to start calling them the Shelby Coupe, or the Shelby Coupes. Beautiful car, just beautiful. Now Daniel's leaving on vacation on Friday, and he is going to Florida. He's going to take the van. I'm getting the van fixed right now. Now, the other car that we have, okay, so now the next car that's in the lineup, if that would be a car that you would want, and that is now this is by far the favorite. People like these. These are the selling the most, okay? These are selling the fastest. And that is the GT Icons, the Shelby Sports, or I mean the Corvette, or the Corvette Grand Sport. And you notice how close the design. There was a lot of design. A lot of these things they have the same futuristic, almost like a ballpoint pen design. They're very, very pointed in the front. This is a very, very popular car. They sold tons of these things. 1966 Corvette Grand Sport. Hey Siri, how many 1966? Oh no, wrong thing. Hey Siri, how many 1964 Corvette Grand Sports were made? What? 1964 Grand Sport rock. Five? Unbelievable. That's a beautiful car, though. And these are available right now at ProTinkerToys.com. So if you want to start your slot car collection, okay, now some of you might already have slot cars, and these are new cars. These are just now coming out. SC414 or 415. These are the Cobra Grand, or oh my gosh, Corvette Grand Sports, silver and blue. Beautiful combination. These are a must. You must have these two. That's all I'm saying. They're just a beautiful looking car. Beautiful looking car. Now, the tariffs got settled, basically, and Trump is dropping the 125% tariff. Now, what that means, it doesn't mean anything, really. China's going to cheat on it anyway. But, we've put pressure on them. We could do this again. They want to keep on doing this. I was listening to a lady, she's just, what did they call it? She bought an internet, or she got a business international degree, which basically is a useless degree. They have no idea what they're talking about, And
real quick, please.
What do you need?
I'm trying to pull a car for Devin's order.
What car is it? I can get it. What car is it? Boy, you look like you got yourself a nice shower this morning. Would that feel?
SC384.
380?
Number 2, the maroon.
80 what?
SC384.
384. Maroon, what is it?
Number 2, the 2010 Chevrolet Camaro SS.
2010 Maryland. Camaro
Yes.
and the maroon one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How was your weekend? He was quiet. He was in his room the whole weekend.
It was pretty uneventful for the most part.
The whole weekend being in your room? How can you be in your room all weekend? You need to get out, Xavier. You just need to go drive somewhere. Somewhere. I don't care where he goes. Just get in his car and drive around for an hour or two. Hermit. Yes, he's a hermit. He just stays in his room for 2 days. Ugh, man, that would drive me crazy. All right, so the number one car of the Series 4 is the Chaparral. Okay, now this was a revolutionary car. You know, it's funny that whenever a design team creates a revolutionary car, like for example the Elf, the 6-wheel Elf, gets banned. Everybody that he needs a woman, he does need a girlfriend. He just needs to get out. He needs to go somewhere, you know. Of course, it's not my kid. But anyways, so this is the Chaparral, okay? Look at that. 222 and number 7. Aren't those sweet? Petty Officer Young, give me 10 push-ups, boy. Now, hut to it. Well, you know what, Adam? You can go pack sand. So this is the Shelby GT40. Shelby GT40. This is a Chaparral. What is really revolutionary about this car was the wing that it was put on the back of this thing. They all think that you need a girlfriend there, Xavier.
I'm good.
You're not going to... Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Nope.
He's never had a girlfriend. He's 23. Never had a girlfriend. Oh, my gosh. So you've never been on a date with a girl?
No.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Have you been on a date with a guy? Nope. I knew he was alive because I heard him in his room yesterday and on Saturday. And I'm thinking to myself, is he ever going to come out? Is he just going to lock the door and just... Well, he can't lock the door because there's no lock on it. I had wondered, you know, is he ever going to come out today or is he just going to, you know, stay in there all day long? Well, he did. He stayed there all day yesterday and today.
I got out occasionally.
You did, huh?
Yes, you can ask your kids.
Really? Because I hadn't seen you out at all yesterday. Or Sunday. Or Saturday. Well, anyways, as long as he's happy, that's all that I matter, okay? As long as he's happy, he keeps his room clean, and he does other things that we've agreed on. All right, so you want to get the Chaparral. So they banned this thing. Every time somebody does something amazing, they would ban. Oh, yeah, we're winning. It's just like it's like this car here. You know, this car with the wing. Oh, we don't like that. Oh, we can't have that. Oh, you can't do that. That's wrong. Well, you know what? Why don't you try to make your car faster then? Okay? And they just kept, but see, that's what it is though. Everybody tries to push the envelope. They want to go a little bit faster. A little bit faster. Let's put the envelope just one more. Let's just go one more. And so that's SC415. We sold a lot of these. Okay. Now, we had some good orders this weekend. That is SC415 right there. Now, we also have a restock of the Datsuns, all three. And what's really unique about these cars are that they have blue roofs. These two cars have blue roofs, but that's in the Brie set, they have red roofs. Okay, so these are different cars than that are in the set. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have both sets. So if you have the Brie set, you have one set of cars. And if you want to collect them, you can get the other set of cars. A lot of people say, well, Brian, where's the value of all these slot cars going to be in 20, let's say 20 years? Well, actually, it's longer than that. 1970, that's 55 years. 70, let's see, 70, 30, 20, that's 55 years ago. In 1970, yeah, I was 10 years old. 1970. Holy moly, time flies when you're having fun. Oh yeah, that's right, because I've been married 39, I'll be 40 years this year. Oh my goodness, married to the same person for 40 years. Holy moly.
You're ancient.
I know I am, Xavier. You could be my son, Xavier.
I would very much pass on that.
You would, huh?
Yeah.
You would honestly pass on being my son?
Yep.
You would?
Yep.
And why do you say that? She got no comment. That means there's no reason. Everybody wants to be my kid. Even Adam Hurt wants to be my kid. They all want to be my kid. Even my kids want to be my kids. Matter of fact, when I was in Connecticut, I tried to help a lot of kids when I was in Connecticut. I was always trying to help kids out. And there was this one kid, Cameron Preston. Oh my goodness, he was the worst. Oh my gosh. And he was in trouble most of his kids, all the way up, even into his 20s, he was in prison for a while. And Kathy went to Connecticut once, and she went to Cameron, or she was doing something, and she came across Cameron. And what did I screw? I can't understand. This has gotten me upset. Not upset. I'm just frustrated. What didn't I pull right on that order?
You were missing cars.
Which cars?
A lot of them, they said 2, and you only pulled 1.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Top 3 on that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was my mistake. I just looked at numbers. So, anyway, Cameron came up to Kathy, and I got a funny story to tell you, too, about Cameron. He comes spend the summer with me, like for 4 or 5 weeks. Well, anyways, he did something one day so bad. He was staying with us, and I told him he was in the store because I had Young's News tonight. I said to take it, go to bed, and he woke up because he was like all out all night. He ran away or I can't remember what he. Anyways, I had convinced him that what he had done the previous day had not happened. He literally just woke up, and I had convinced him that it was all a dream. He was in managing it. Anyways, he came up to my wife. I don't know where he was. He came up to my wife and said, "You know what? I just want to thank you, Brian, for all that he had done for me to help me get on this straight and narrow." Because he just, a lot of these guys just don't have dads. If you don't have, I know a lot of these people say, hey, I don't need a dad. Well, you do, you need a dad. That's all there is to it. And, Frankie and David and Mark, I'm glad Mark has got a great job. And I'm glad he's doing well. The only thing I worry right now, just so everybody knows my heart, and the only thing I worry about, or not worry, but the only thing that is a concern to my heart and a concern to my continuance is my son Lincoln. I have not spoken to him almost for a year. And I will never see his grandchildren for the next 20 years. I'll never see them. I'll never be able to do things with them. for the next 20 years. They won't be a part of my life, which is really sad. That's the thing that I'm most sadness and that I have the most regret right now is not being able to see Lincoln or my grandkids, Ulysses and Uriah, and some of the names I just can't always remember. Oh shoot! Now I get yelled at for this. Did Lincoln reach out to Kathy yesterday? No. Nope. No, it's really a sad time. It's really a sad time. But you know what? You do what you can. You can't control it. So anyways, Cameron, I tried to direct him in the right direction, and he appreciated that. And I've done that to many kids right now, like with Tyson. I'm trying to, like, Tyson came in today, he was wearing the wrong shorts. And I said, Tyson, you really can't wear shorts like that. It's just called etiquette, and you need to have the right kind of etiquette, and but there's, it's one person at a time, and you could have, you know what, you can have all the money in the world, okay? There are a million people that have all the money in the world, okay? And if you don't have family, you don't have somebody to love with, it's useless. That's why when Trump and Don Jr. they were standing on the steps, okay, ready to go down the ladder or the escalator, and they said, "Yes, you're right. Never say never." No, I'm praying for Lincoln. They're standing on that escalator, and Trump says to John Jr., he goes, "Now we're going to see who our true friends are," okay, because they're very close with their dad. They're very close with their dad. And so anyway, so let's get back to the show. This is a really big show today. Hey, this is why people watch this show. They want to hear me comment. They want to hear me talk. And so I just kind of give them what they want. All right. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear what I have to say. I understand that. A lot of people aren't on my same page. I get it. Okay. But you know what? You know what it is? There was a guy. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers his name. Now, Adam might remember his name, but I'm going to say his name again, okay? And he used to come in my newsstand all the time. And so I'm going to tell you his name and remember it for in the future, because I might use this as a trivia question to win a free car. So this guy used to come in my newsstand about once a week. And he always had a towel around him because he sweat profusely. He naturally just sweated. He had to wear a tie around him to constantly keep him dry. He was very big, about the same size as I, a little higher, not heavy, about my size right now. Back then I was, 100, 200, 190, maybe 200. And he'd always come in. He worked at the university. He was a maintenance manager at the university. Or, maintenance. He was maintenance. And, but one thing that, and his name was Phil Bucher. Phil Bucher. Now, this guy should have been a professor. Because one thing he knew a lot. He was, we used to get in discussions. He was a Democrat, like, boom. And I was a Republican, boom. And we would get into these great discussions, not arguments, discussions about this and that. But one thing we love to talk about is movies. And Yes, he knew how to debate. We had the greatest time together. And whenever he came in my newsstand, it would get busy. And it never happened. He would always then go sit down and when somebody would come in and then when they leave, then he would, and I was like, oh my, and so Phil would always come in the newsstand. Okay. And we would have the amazing about movies, every type of movie you could imagine, we would talk about. And then he would talk politics, and I would talk politics, and we could talk. We were like this. We could have a conversation. I invited him for dinner once with his wife. This was, guys, 1993, maybe 94, and his wife was very, she was one of those. She kind of Phyllis Diller. I guess that's the best way to describe her. She was very colorful. She would always wear very flowery type clothing and dresses, and she was just very Bombaic, I guess, in the way of how she presented herself. And they never had children. And he I think he passed away early 2000s. I can't remember when he passed away, but and that's who Phil was. Phil was just that kind of guy. And I told him I go, Phil, every time you come into my newsstand, the play packs out. Well, do you want me to? No, I want you to come, Phil. Every time you come, you bring people. And that's what I want, is more people coming to my newsstand. It was amazing. Man, when I had what's funny is, if I had $1,000 Saturday, man, because I sold comic books and gaming stuff like Magic and Games Workshop. If I had $1,000 Saturday, oh man, I was so happy. Man, $1,000 Saturday was just the day to die. Not to die for, but that was a great day to have $1,000 Saturday. Especially when comics would come in. See, comic came every Thursday, and so my weekends, weekly, were pretty good. Okay, so that was Phil Bucher, and great guy. We used to get into the funniest conversations. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable, actually. But we got, anyways, so here is the Brie Datsons, and these are SC404, and we have these all in stock now. So if you want to get all three of these, which I recommend you do, this is a nice quick assortment. You just get all three, and you put them in your collection, and boom, you've got them. Okay, and this is the assortment to get right here. That's it right there. What are you doing?
Putting the tray back.
Wait a minute. No, you got this thing all messed up. Here, hold on a second. You got, hold on, there's a thing. All right, now try it. So 414 or 404 is the Brie cars. And hey, take that Datsun. And there's a box over there with another Datsun. That's there's a box there right next to my desk, which across the thing, which has one Datsun in it, and it's an eBay order. I tell you, he's so funny. I've never seen a kid with such a bland emotion. And then when he's playing his games, he's like he comes out of his shell. It's like he's a different. You know what it's like? He's like Clark Kent, and Superman. He comes out of his he takes off his glasses, and now he's Superman. And he puts it back on. I'm Clark Kent. Hi there, I'm Clark Kent. There, Lois Lane. Like, what the heck? Where do you come up with that? All right, now the next one. 12. Now, the new other assortment, which is extremely popular. Again, this has been selling very well. And that is the Pony Power. All right, we have the 2015 Ford Mustang. 2015 Ford Mustang. There comes Superman. I'm sorry, Clark Kent. Here comes Clark Kent. Don't tell anybody that's Superman. Who's Clark Kent? I don't know, but that's Superman. Now, do you want to know my theory about Superman? How the movies, the current movies, have it all wrong about Superman? Do you want to hear my thing? So they show Superman hovering, okay? First of all, how does he hover? What does he do to just be able to lift or just hover, okay? Well, that's not a power. See, that's television special effects invention. That's not one of the things that he could do. Here's what it says in the cartoon, okay? Stronger than what? A locomotive, okay? So he's strong, more powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet. That means he can run faster than a speeding bullet, okay? Leap tall buildings with a single bound. So that means he can jump, okay? So that means he's gonna be able to jump and move, okay? But to have all these things in the movie where he's hovering, well, where are you hovering? How is he hovering? What is he? Is he weightless? Okay, how is he gonna hover? They really screwed it up. You could see the wire. All right, so that you've got the 2015 Ford Mustang, smelly feet. Where's Jimmy Olsen? That is the 2015 Ford Mustang on a extraction chassis. Those are beautiful cars. Can produce more methane than Brian Young. That's right. Well, you know what? Adam told me that somebody that farts a lot is actually very healthy. So I'm taking Adam's opinion about farting, and so that is the black Mustang. We got 6 Xers. Okay, X. Oh, say, can you see? We had great sales. ProTinkerToys.com. ProTinkerToys.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button on the below there. You want to hit that like button there, people. When you're watching these live streams, hit the like button, okay? And then subscribe. Make sure you hit the little subscribe button, okay? It's very important that you hit that little subscribe button. All right, so those are the Mustangs, the 2015 Mustangs. The next car of the assortment. Oh, did you see my video? Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Did you see the 4x4 layout, how that's coming along? It's almost done. Okay, so this is another short on the 4x4 layout for ProTinkerToys.com, and we are almost finished. I'm going to do a nice slow tour of it. It's almost done. This is just turning out absolutely beautiful. Now, what's really weird though is that video only had 304 video views, but the other one had 3,900. How does that happen? Okay. That's what's really funny is how do you have a video that's got 3,000 views and then you have another video? What's going on? 3,900 views. And then we have, so here is the first video. So I started that layout. Okay, this is what it looked like. Some live streams, so I'm going to do some quick shorts. And right now I did my first foaming. And now this is just a preliminary foaming, so this is turning out really nice. And when I cut this, I'm going to be cutting this. Look at how that looks, and then compared to this. Look at that. Look at that, and then it's this. Okay, so this is another short. That's less than a month. The 4x4 layout. I could do these things all day, the rest of my life. Hey, all you have to do is some chair exercises. That was Derek. All I have to do is some chair exercises. Unbelievable. All right, so the second car, a 410, SC410, I would say these are pretty cars. I like these cars. And these are 1969 Chevy Camaros. Okay, 1969 Chevy Camaros. Okay. 69 Chevy Camaros. Now this one is popped off the chassis. Okay, so we're never going to be able to fix that unless you buy it. All right. The body popped off. And that's the pink and the green. 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 Hi-ho the dairy-o, the pink and the green. And that is the green. That's the green. And those are 1996 or 1969 Pony Power. Pony Power. Now tonight, or when I get done with this live stream, later on I'm going to do a live stream. We're going to do a short of the 4x4 because I'm putting a little downtown in the video or in the layout. I've got 3 buildings that I'm putting in. It's going to look kind of cool with some trees around them. It's going to look really sweet actually. So these are the 1969 Camaros, and this is Pony Power. That's my favorite, Pony Power, the pink one. Now Daniel says it's not pink; it's some stupid color. I don't know what it is. Now here's the car that we're almost sold out of. We only have 6 of them. I'm telling you, we only have 6 of these. All right, so we got plenty. We got plenty of these, but we only have 6 of these left.
So this is what I heard from JLB. This was from his mouth.
What do you mean JLB?
JLB.
Who's JLB?
He always goes head to head with Super Dave on the auction sometimes.
Oh, okay.
He says he's not a fan of the pastels.
Fan of the pastels.
In SC410. Those real pastel-y colors, like the green and the lily and
well, see, that's what I've been saying is that's really popular in. That's what.
He don't like it.
Those are colors from the 70s.
Saying what JLB say. He say he don't like them.
JLB.
He doesn't like them.
Well, that's JLB needs to understand what colors are.
I think so too.
JLB.
I think he's wrong. He might not be in there. I don't know.
Yes, thank you. That layout. Wait. I'm telling you, that layout is just. I want to start making those things like bread and butter. Okay. I'm getting better I'm getting better at building those layouts. The more I do it, the quicker I become because I know what I did and how I can make it even better. Well, my eye. So here is the most popular car, which is the Pontiac Firebird. And this is 410, SC410. So if you want one of these layouts that I do, okay, you can commission me to build one, okay? Now, I've lowered the price. I'm going to start offering the price at $3,000, okay? $1,500 down as a down payment, and then the $1,500 when it's complete, but you have to pick it up. I can't ship it. It will be completely finished in the sense that it's like a piece of art. It's done. And then if you want to do details and you want to add more things, you can. But as just a race set, ready to go, boom. How many hours so far have you put in it, Brian? How much have you spent on materials? Okay, so on that layout, because I bought materials that I can use on another layout, The foam is the most expensive, and I've learned how to save on foam, and so I can cut down. I learned a lot of things on this layout that I've learned that on my other layout I learned, but the foam I've spent the most on, which is about $90, maybe $100, and then I've spent about $75 on, I would say $100 on all the trees, all the flocking, and all that kind of stuff, and then $100 for the race set. So it's about 300, maybe 350 in complete parts. But those, like I have some paint and all that, I could use that on 6 layouts. Now, how much time have I spent on it? Well, I've spent, so far we're on episode 14, I think. So that's 14 hours so far. I would say I've spent about 16 hours, 17 hours of actual working on it, 17 hours. And it looks 100% better than what I thought it was. One of the biggest things that I learned was not to keep the track there while I was doing the whole thing, is that I take the track up, and now what I'm going to do the next time is I'm going to take the track up even before I do a lot of foaming. And so I can have even because the track does get dirty and all that. It gets white and all that. And I'm going to replace a lot of that track. I'm going to keep all that track as if I get other people to commission. If I get more commissions to build more layouts, then I will reuse that track for different layouts, okay? Now, if somebody wants that exact layout, which to me is absolutely, that's slot car racing right there. That's model motoring, that layout right there. How it goes up into the mountains. There's 2 tunnels. The cars go under the tunnel. I'm going to have to increase your production rate. Bring all your kids and make several if you're gonna start selling them. No, it's like this. The reason it's taking longer is because of me doing the videos. Okay, because obviously this is I'm doing this as a video as to help ProTinkerToys.com. I want people to know that, hey, your slot car track can be more than just a track on your layout. That it can be more than that. It can be an experience. Just like for example, last night I was watching Snuggles' video. You know, he's got his little videos. You know, he's doing his videos now. Adam does his videos, and then Anthony Bateman had his family over a couple weeks ago. That's what it's all about, people. We're all having fun. And I just love to be creative. I just love to make things because I love to create something. I love to create something out of nothing. And this layout that I just finished or almost done with, 100%. Absolutely. I was driving it last night and it drives awesome. There's a couple, now I'm working on, and I'm going to show you this later, I'm working on the downtown. So as you come out of the mountain, you're going to come into a downtown area. It's going to be cute or really cool. And then it's almost finished. I'm almost done. I've got enough trees. I don't want to put any more trees on it. And I could have probably put a little less trees if I wanted to. You only need so many trees, okay? Because this is a diorama, okay? You're just going to have fun. And it's really for kids. You know, kids are going to have, you could take little army men and put all around the thing if you were a kid and pretend battles and everything. So that's the Pontiac Firebird, and this is SC410. These are available right now at ProTinkerToys.com, 410. Now, the 4x4 layout is designed for these cars. It is designed for these cars. It's designed for the Datsuns because that's what rally is. It's up in the mountains. Have you ever watched some rally races? How these cars are in the dirt roads and they're going 90 miles an hour? It's also for these cars here. All these rally cars. This is what it's for. That's why I'm building it. It's for people to be excited and to create their own rally races and get their own track set up. Listen, you can be retired and you can just, what are you going to do when you're retired? How many times are you going to go on vacation? Oh, I could go on a lot of vacations. Okay. How many times are you going to play golf at the same time? Okay, I love playing golf. Okay, great. Well, how many times are you going to do that? Now, if you got grandkids, okay, it's all about the kids too. It's all about the grandkids. It's all about bringing them into your world. Like next weekend, I'm going to be taking my grandkids to Jellystone Campground in Indiana. Okay, so we're going to be going camping with Cameron and Mason and Frankie and David and Connor. So we're all going to be going to the Yellowstone Park, and we're going to go camping, swimming, and I don't know how warm the water is going to be, but because the water normally in May already, now it would have been in the 80s, and now it's still 70 out. I mean, I've got my pool cleaned. I'm keeping it clean. I'm trying to keep it all ready for this summer. So we got Pony Power. They got the Grand Prix, or the Firebird, 1977 Firebird from the, and that was that made popular by the. That's a car they need to come back with. Just this car right here, GM. The I'll tell you, the CEO of GM, that female nutcase, boy, she ruined GM, man. Any person that destroyed a company, and that's her. I mean, now these are probably the most. This is going to be the most popular. It was funny. These are going to sell. These will probably be the last sell, but they should be the first sell. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Now, JLB doesn't like these colors. He doesn't like all these pastel colors. But this is the way these 70s. Don't you love the 70s, JLB? Very disappointed in you, JLB. Very disappointed. And these are the Javelins. 1971 Javelin. Very popular car. It's too bad that the American Motor Company couldn't survive. But you know what's really sad? Here's what's really sad. You've got Ford and GM and Chrysler really destroyed three motor companies. That is the Tucker Automobile. They basically forced Tucker out of business. You know, all these companies, and then what happens in the 70s? They start going belly up because the foreign companies, they were killing them. But the Tucker automobile was probably the most advanced automobile ever made in the 1950s. The Tucker car had everything. My stepdad Mac would always tell me about the Tucker mobile or the Tucker car. How that car was so advanced. It had rotating headlights. It had everything that cars should have, but they didn't put in them. And that's the same thing with the American Motor Company. AMC made some great cars, okay? Like, for example, the AMC Pacer, probably the most popular car ever made. Yeah, Ypsilanti, a lot of car companies were coming out of Indiana too. GM or Detroit wasn't the only, you know, and there were a lot of companies that were starting to form up. And unfortunately, a lot of your big three, they just forced a lot of these companies out of business. It's really sad. Innovation. And then you got the Japanese that came across in the 1970s. Put us all to shame. And that's the last car of SC410. That is the Javelin. If you don't have the Javelin, that is the Javelin from SC410. Now, we only have 2 cars left of the Meacham auctions. Wow, this thing really sold. So look at that, the Corvettes. Meet your mark Corvette sold out. I tell you, the Corvette sell out, and that's what I understand why this hasn't sold. I don't understand it. I don't know why we still have these cars right here. 1970 Corvettes. And these are nice driving too. These are also Thunderjets. Okay, these are Thunderjet Corvettes. Okay, long bodies, very nice chassis. Very nice. Look at that. Thunderjet. Thunderjet number 394. 394 and 394 car number 2, the Ford Mustang. And I tell you, I don't know why these don't sell. I don't know. One of these days, people are going to all of a sudden go, "Hey, I want these Batmobiles." I think this is a great collection just to put on your shelves. All 4 Batmobiles, 2 4 gear, and 2 Thunderjets. Race these against these, or race these and then these. These are great for kids. So if you have a layout and you want your grandkids a bunch of cars, get them these cars, the Batmobiles. Batman! Yeah, I was watching a video on why this guy was talking about how that Lost in Space season 1 was great, but then season 2 became campy, and they said it was because of Batmobile or the Batman. Batman was a very campy, like comic book type TV series, very innocent. Comic books used to be innocent; they were just fun drawings, and then you have your immoral twits taking over a lot of these comic book companies, just making garbage. Like The Boys, that is probably the most filthiest, disgusting, moralist television show. I only saw 1 episode of The Boys, and this one scene was just so disgusting. I said, you got to be kidding. You literally have to have no morals, okay, no scruples, no conscience to watch that. And the actors that are in that, I wouldn't want to be near them. It's really disgusting. It's just season one of Lost in Space was the best. Black and white, absolute classic. That ship is still advanced, high advanced of anything else. The robot, the B9 robot, people thought it was campy. Give me a break. And these are the Batman. So this was campy, but your TV shows were somewhat campy. It was for everybody. Nowadays, they want. Here's what Hollywood is. Hollywood all wants adult crap. Okay, nothing for kids. Okay, it's all adult crap. And to be. I only watched 1 episode of The Boys, and I saw, really, this is entertainment? No, this is pornography. This is pure filth. That's that. You know, I know you can judge me if you want. I don't really care. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't put it in front of my kids. It's just, anyways. Now I just got off on a tangent. I didn't want to get off on a tangent. Okay, so all right. So now this is another car that is designed for the 4x4 layout. This is designed for it. This is why I made it, because of this car. And that is the rallies. That's why I built the 4x4 layout, is because of the rally cars. Because that's how they race. They have all these tires and they go up into the mountains, they go into the deserts, and they go speeding 100 miles an hour on a corner and all that. They're trying to outdo their friends. That's what I did it for. That's how you should race them. Fast on the straights, slow on the curves. But see, that's the problem with slot cars, is they want to go fast on the curves. They want to be able to be doing the same speed on the curves as they on the straights. And that's not normal. That is completely abnormal. It's just like in Young Frankenstein. That's abnormal. That's abnormal. What do you mean abnormal, bro? That means it's abnormal. Now, we just keep moving things up. Everything's always gets shifted up. Like day by day, things get shifted. As we sell out of things, we're kind of rotating things up. Okay, so we are almost out of these. I never thought we'd... So when these came out in 22, yep, these came out in June of 22, okay? And we sold, I think we bought 15 cases. We bought 15 cases. Now, obviously, the car that sold the most was the Bel Air, the Candy Striper. And I said that my favorite, other than the Candy Striper, is the 69 Camaro. 69 Camaro SS. Look at that beautiful car. And you have both of the funny cars. Funny cars. And what is so unique about these is they're Hot Wheels. Yeah, you know, so I just was thinking, you know, I'm gonna have to have a discussion with the boys, because, you know, we do 100% of our videos. 80% of our videos is HO slot cars, and we don't do enough videos. And I don't have a racetrack enough on is Scale Electric and Carrera. So those are the two other companies that are available, and SCX, which we don't have as SCX. We have to make a decision that are we gonna start promoting one of these lines again and really push it, and how do we do that? Okay, and that's the discussion that I need to have with my sons. Is that now I want to start taking the other two tables upstairs. Yeah, Dr. Smith, I'm going to tell you right now, Dr. Smith was the worst thing that happened to Lost in Space. Okay, they turned him into a villain. In the first 5 episodes were great. Then all of a sudden, this guy, Jonathan Harris, was really, he was arrogant, like to no means. The guy just had an ego complex that just was, he basically took over the show. He was writing his own scripts, because he started getting all this fan mail. It went to his head, okay? And that's why it was canceled after 2 years. The carrot man is what did it in, okay? That's when Lost in Space wasn't Lost in Space. I mean, it was, but it got so campy. A carrot man, give me a break. Do you remember on Batman when they had, yes, a Revell track? Yes, that was the height of slot cars in America, is in the Batman where Bruce Wayne was racing on a 6-lane Revell track. That was a Revell track. Or a Cox track. I think it was a Revell track. But Dr. Smith was by far the worst character. Now, I didn't mind him being the bad guy, okay? And then the remake the movie they made, the remake, was terrible. And then the TV series, the new TV series they came out with on Amazon, terrible. They did away with this the whole concept. You know, the robot just didn't even make sense. You know, it just, all this dark garbage. Really not for kids, not for boys. You know, I tell you, just they don't know how to. They've ruined science fiction. Science fiction was the last bastion of non-woke crap, and it finally has gotten taken over by the leftists. They've ruined science fiction. There hasn't been a science, no. So there's two science fiction movies that I have not minded, and that is there's two movies, science fiction, that have come out that I've enjoyed, and that is hey P, don't break the chair. That is Oblivion, okay, with Tom Cruise. I've never been a Tom Cruise fan, ever. Never liked him. I've watched the Mission Impossible movies, but you know, he's about my age. I grew up as he was becoming popular. I just never liked him as an actor. That's just me. And then he was in War of the Worlds, which was terrible. They just, oh my gosh, how did Spielberg screw that up? I know how he did, because they constantly redo every story according to their vision, which is just absurd. And then they did the and so then he came in, and I saw this thing. Heyday 50s was the heyday for sci-fi. Oh yeah, 1950s came out with the best science fiction movies ever. 1950s. The Deadly Mantis, great movie. Gorgo, now that came out in 61. Great. I was watching a documentary on how they made Gorgo. I think Gorgo is actually better than Godzilla. I remember Gorgo as a kid. I was watching that. I'd watch them on these creature double feature movies. So, so the two movies are Oblivion, which was a great movie, and the time travel movie, Tomorrow something. Tom Cruise is in that one too. Those two were very good sci-fis. He did a good job on those. Oh. Now, so one thing everybody's buying, they bought a lot of different cars, a lot of different assortments. Matt Henry sold 2 mattresses on Friday, and that's a good job. He sold 2 mattresses on Friday. Matt Henry's finally catching on how to sell something. I'm sorry, but I'm out of that car. I'm sorry, but we are out of that car. I have the other car of the same assortment, which is black with orange stripes. I got some cars that I'm out of stock on eBay, which screws up. So, we now have, so those two movies, I think, what was that movie, Today or something Tomorrow? Thing from the Other World, the 50s version was the only one that I liked. I hated the John Carter version. I just hated it. How do you have an alien that can't even stay together, make a machine like a spaceship and come to the Earth? Okay, well, how do you make it? Well, what do you make it from? What is your stat? What is your true? What's the true features of the alien? Okay, that's why I liked the 50s version. You know, they call him the Carrot Man, but basically he was he had a form that you could understand. The Carter one just was so good. And then every remake they make it is even worse. Why do you do a remake of the original story? Okay? You know, these directors, what was the latest thing I heard about this one director? You know, James Gwynn, these guys, they take these stories, Superman, they've destroyed it. This new Superman is absolutely just horrid. You know, it's like, for the love of Mike, why don't you bring back movie night? Because I don't want to. Do you understand, Adam? I don't want to do movie night. Okay? Do you realize I do a lot of live streams? Oh my gosh. All right. Now we are going to have now we're going to go through what should we go through now? Does anybody have any recommendations on what I should do right now? That's what the audience wants. No, they don't. You want that, Adam. You want that. For the love of Mike. Yeah. No, only you, Adam. Only you. Do you remember Batman? Yes, I do. Hi, Joe, Jay. Never mind that. Jim's Slot Car Obsession. That's James Benito. Movie night. Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, right. Go through American Line. Arbuckle. American Line. I don't know if we have a lot of American Line. I mean, I have a lot. I mean, I don't have a lot of American Line. I have a lot of T-Jet or Tyco. Everything Tyco. Corvettes. We got two versions of the 44s. See, that's another reason why Mattel wanted to buy Tyco, is they wanted to put Hot Wheels on all their product. Do you realize they destroyed Tyco in 2 years? They destroyed a company that was making train sets. They destroyed it in less than 2 years. Mattel did. How do you buy a company like Tyco Industries and put it into the grave in 2 years? You literally have to be incompetent. That's the only thing I can think of, is absolutely incompetency to do that in 2 years. What do you mean 2 years, Brian? They only bought it in 96, late 96, 97. My gosh, that's when I started with Irwin Toy. And in less than 2 years, by 1999, Mattel had stopped making Tyco. Completely. Nothing. Oh, it is very sad. It is probably one of the most incompetent thing you could do, okay, as an executive. You literally have to have no brains. And I mean it. You literally have no brains. If you bought this company for $550 million, now they did $9 million in sales over 2 or 3 years. It wasn't enough. They said they wanted to do more. So you buy a company for $500 million, you do $9 million in sales, and now you say, we don't need these anymore. These are not a toy. We don't want to do slot cars. We don't want to make slot cars anymore. slot cars are for nerds. Well, I guess I'm one of those nerds. And all of the cars, all the stuff that was made, they had warehouses full of Tyco stuff from going all the way back to, I think, 75. That Bob Haynes bought, Robert Haynes bought. See, this was a Tyco chassis. And see the HP7, these were Tyco chassis. And then Mattel took over, just ruined the company. Ruined the company. Think about it. And that's the same thing that's happening to Scale Electric right now. You know, they keep buying other companies, but they keep missing the mark on slot cars. Now their cars are totally outpriced. You can't. I mean, I would like to carry them, but you know, I'm not gonna carry a product that I'm gonna sit on the shelf where I have to give it away. I might as well buy more toy guns. Did the gun order come in?
You talking about all the gunner stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was supposed to have been a big order come in.
He said it's probably going to be over several days.
Yeah, he said it was probably going to be in a couple days because it's on 3 different trucks.
Where's Mac Henry?
I don't keep track of him. He's not my kid.
He's got an attitude already. He's not my kid. I'm not keeping track of him. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, but you're my kid, and I'm trying to keep track of you. Where's Daniel?
I think he went back to the warehouse.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And what are you doing?
Helping me
with this order.
Why are you helping him?
because Danny said so.
Did he?
Yes.
So he's helping Xavier's guys. Nate is helping Xavier. Yes. Reese's Cup break time. You know what, Adam? You're a very not nice person. Okay, so today's episode is sponsored by. Well, hi there, X. How is X doing? Let's comment. How is X doing? How is X doing? Today's episode is sponsored by the Mayflower truck. Now, if you've never driven around the country and if you've never moved, then you don't know about Mayflower. Mayflower is your worldwide moving company. Mayflower has, I remember when we moved from Cleveland to Toledo, Ohio. We had Mayflower show up. These guys were in preem suits and they packed in Mayflower boxes. Everything was wrapped in Mayflower. It was amazing. They packed the whole house. Because my dad got a job with Foodtown Corporation in Toledo. He was their retail store locations. And he built all the food towns in Northwest Ohio. He put the one in Bowling Green, Ohio. I remember going to the grand opening of that one in 1968, I think it was. I must have been 8 or 9. Went to that. What does Mayflower bring? Mayflower brings joy and happiness on the Mayflower trucking van. And you want to get your Mayflower van at ProTinkerToys.com because we sell lots of slot cars. And one thing we sell lots of, and that's slot cars, HO slot cars. Well, we sell a lot of 132nd. I'm not pushing them as much as I should, and I've got to figure out how. I'm just got to get into tune here. No, you know what the problem is? I'll just be honest with you. The problem is I love SCX, and that's my problem. I've been selling SCX for 30 some years. Actually, yeah, 30 some years. Well, let's see, 1997, 97, well, it would be 30 years in 2 years. I've been selling 30 SCX. And that's my problem. I need to get SCX in the US. They are. 132nd are mostly European models. You're right. That's and that's the way it's been for guys since the 1970s. The Americans Eldon used to do all the American cars, and they quit doing them. Okay, so we're going to go over all the cars that could be in your collection. We have the first car that we have is one of ours. These are limited, and that is the ProTinker delivery truck F100. Now, this is a mistake. So this is a blooper on Auto Worlds. They call this the 1955. It's the same truck. So this was a blooper. If you want to get one of these, you should get them now. These are bloopers. They should say 1956 Ford F100, not the 55. That was another mistake that Auto World made, but well, that's water under the bridge. Have you ever thought of that term, water under the bridge? It's kind of like that terminology. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? And the real question is not how much could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. It's why would a woodchuck chuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood? That's really the question, is why would a woodchuck wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Why would he do that? Okay. And that's the same thing. You look at now, so like these cars right here, these are now beginning to sell out. We are almost out of these two cars. Now, I knew this was going to happen within 2 years. Let me just tell you right now. Let me just take you back here. So let me show you all these cars right here. All these cars within 2 years will all be gone. Okay? They'll all be gone. At the rate they're selling, they will all be gone. So these are the latest two that are moving very fast, and these are the 57 Bel Airs, the Blurple and the black, and we're almost out of these. Almost. The Blurple and the yellow flame black. And then the next two are the same two cars, and these are the 57 Nomads. Well, not that one. That's the purple and the black. 57 Nomads. Oh, I'm just getting an ocular migraine. I am now getting an ocular migraine, which are not fun. And the next car is, I know why this one never sells, because it's got Adam Hurt on here. And that is our first Bel Air Heats. We call it the Bel Air Heat. That was my design and my engineering. And these are almost sold out too. We have less than 100 of these. I'm just going over all the cars again because that's what I can do. I have an ocular migraine right now. Now, the next two we're almost sold out of. We only have one tray left. I didn't think I'd ever... We had a big sale on these, that's why. And that is the Shelby and the Mustang. Shelby Cobra and the Mustang. Shelby Cobra and the Mustang. Holy cow! Shelby Cobra and the Mustang. Now, we also have the Dodge Challenger. Or Charger, I mean, the Dodge Charger. Sweet car. Look at that. Arbuckle. Uh-oh, what did Arbuckle say? Uh-oh. Oh, Arbuckle never retracts a comment. Does anybody know what Arbuckle said? Arbuckle never retracts a message. James Dean just got his in the slot car show. Awesome. What did Arbuckle retract? Does anybody know what Arbuckle retracted from? Let's go for a walk around Wayne. Gee. And then the next two cars. These are my favorites. Actually, this one's my favorite. Because nobody had done this car, and so I wanted to do this car. The Motoramic. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Motoramic. And then you have the Fred Lorenzo car. Look at that. Holy cow. And then you have the Bobby Isaac. We're sold out of the Petty car. And now all we have left are the Isaacs. Bobby Isaac, 2-in-1. This is 2-in-1. Actually, it's 3-in-1 because of the trailer. This is a great deal. You want to get these before they're sold out. They're almost sold out. And then, oh, wow. Have you ever seen this one here? This is very popular. And this is the Mayflower. This is done by ProTinkerToys.com. What happened with Arbuckle? What happened? You want to drive Brian crazy? Retract messages. You know, Arbuckle, where you going? Speaking of Lost in Space, that anyone ever made a chariot slot car? No. That'd be pretty cool. A chariot slot car. Lost in Space chariot. That would be interesting. The problem is you don't have another car to put against it because there was never a car in the TV series. I remember seeing Lost in Space. We were living in Toledo at Ottawa Hills, and we owned I lived in a beautiful English Tudor home. Man, I love that house. Had a beautiful sunroom, and that's where our TV room was. And I would watch Gilligan's Island. I would watch Lost in Space. And I remember, oh man, I just love Lost. I thought that was all real. I thought Gilligan's Island, that poor family was lost on the, all those people were lost on the island. Matter of fact, oh well. All right, so the next two cars are Bel Airs. We did way too many Bel Airs. I'm telling you, I did way too many Bel Airs. I should have done Chargers. I should have done more El Caminos, but I just done a ton of Bel Airs. These are going to be worth money because I only made 1,000 of these. And these are the white ones, the white flamed and the white, solid white and white. Solid white and flames. This is all we have right here. So do you want to know how many I have? They're right here. This is all I have right here. You can call us right now and buy all these if you want. I would love you to buy all these right now. I would give you, well, you get the club discount if you buy all these. O'Reilly Auto Parts. O'Reilly
Auto
Parts. O'Reilly.
I started that. That was me.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I was doing it before you walked in the door.
For your, I thought you were talking about your granddaughter. That's what I always do, because it's Riley. So I go, oh, 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 Riley.
Well, my day just kind of went
Shut
to
up.
my
Shut up.
my day just went into the toilet. My favorite non-employee is here. Oh, Mac Henry, come here. Mac Henry, come here. Mac Henry. Mac Henry. Get over here, ugly. Hurry up. I have to do something in front of the camera.
I know what you're going to do. You're going to fart, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You're going to
No,
fart.
I am not. How much do you want to bet I'm not going to fart?
Okay, he's going to fart.
All right, so tell me what happened on Friday that made your day.
I sold 5K of mattresses.
Okay, now why do you have such a hard body odor?
I do not have
You
a
do.
barbecue
You have a very
This
strong.
is
Oh
the
my
scent,
gosh.
This
Oh.
is the scent of a stag.
Oh my gosh.
This is the
All right,
scent.
so you sold a $5,000 mattress?
No, I sold to two people and it was like $2,500 a piece.
Okay, so you sold 2 mattresses.
Yes.
Okay. And was that exciting? Did you feel the adrenaline?
They came in the store, right? They're like, hey, we don't know if we want a mattress or not.
Okay.
So then I went to the front of the door and I locked it. I said, now you can't leave, right? And then they had to buy a mattress.
Well,
I
you
turned
didn't-
up the heat.
You
I
didn't
turned
do
up the
that.
heat.
So get to the truth, Mac Henry.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh
That
my
is the
God.
truth. I locked him in the store, and then I started chasing him with the baseball bat.
Okay, can you be serious? How did you make the sale?
How did I make the sale? I followed my training.
And what
I
was the
stopped
training?
thinking.
What was
I
the
just
training?
did what Ryan said. I just repeated the
It's
lines.
kind of like, what was that one movie with, I think it's,
Clockwork Orange.
no, it was something with Malcolm in the Middle or something.
Yeah,
His-
where he's all like, "You're the best cadet ever." That's what I was
He
thinking.
goes,
I just stopped thinking. He's like, I just leave it up to you.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. That's
All right,
what I
so
was.
that's what. All right, so here is a bonus. I'm giving you a
Oh.
bonus. Okay, I just
$50.
$50
$50.
and what's his name did not give him a bonus, but I did.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he's a benevolent boss, and Ryan is a stingy man.
Yes, he is very stingy.
All right.
So, of one thing that he taught you to sell, that you were doing that you did not do because that was wrong, or that, like you said, everything's gone. It's only what he said.
Get them saying yes, just on stupid stuff. So that like when you finally pull the trigger and be like, "Is this something we want to purchase today?" They're like, "Yes." And then locking the door was an important one.
So you sold 2 mattresses.
Yes.
Did you call him after that, or did
I
he
sent
know?
him a picture of the receipt, and he's like, "Quit making this up. Like, I have to feed my family. Don't send me these."
Well, they keep spending money. They keep buying new cars.
I know, right? They bought
I mean,
a new car.
I know.
They bought a tank.
I know.
That's what they
it's
did.
It's the worst vehicle. They should have
If
bought
they
a
put a
Transit.
turret on, yeah, they could have bought that. Yeah, but you've had all that problem with yours,
No,
right?
I haven't had any
All right,
problems.
well, but if they put a turret on top of the tank,
Oh, it's the ugliest car
it would
ever
be
made.
or on top of the tank. On top of the car, it would be a tank.
It's the Nissan. I don't know what it's called. It's the
Like
ugliest
I'm pretty sure
vehicle.
Cameron's gonna like his seat's on top of it, and he man's the gunner, right?
But I guess that's what she wanted. So
Yeah,
you know,
apparently.
and she's a
apparently-
high-maintenance
Oh
wife.
my God, dude! He's going into debt. That's the real reason why Ryan had to open the mattress store.
yes, because his wife.
His
loves-
wife is so high maintenance.
Dave Ramsey discourages buying cars.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. Dave Ramsey has millions of them. It's like.
Dave Ramsey was born with a spoon up his butt. He was born on third base, and all he had to do was walk home, bro. And he's giving financial advice.
No, that's the. I mean, I understand but that's exactly the point.
He was born on third base.
He was.
Right.
He was born with everything he wanted,
Mhm.
and didn't have to worry
Now
about
his information is right, but like
Yes.
he didn't pull himself up by his bootstraps like
Right.
he's letting us know.
Right, exactly.
He's a WWE financial advisor.
Correct.
Right, where he looks the part, but he's really not a tough guy.
Right.
Right. So that's good. All right. Thank you,
All
Brian.
right, that's the
I gotta
bonus.
get going.
All right, so he's going to get everything shipped out. All right, so that was 2 mattresses. He sold 2 mattresses, and that's why I gave him that bonus. Ryan would have never given him a bonus, and that's our Club 55 Bel Air and the Ford GT40. Let's see. Ryan follows Dave Ramsey, who discourages buying cars. I don't want to knock Dave Ramsey. I understand his philosophy, but you know what? I have a problem with somebody that. Now, yes. So Trump's dad gave him $1 million. I think that's how Trump got all his fortune. You know, he gave him $1 million. You know, and he became a developer. Okay. You know, it's a long story. I'm not going to go into that right now. So this was our second Bel Air Heat. These are both drag cars. These were dragster cars for drag strips, funny cars. And that's our Bel Air Heat. Now those we're finally getting low on. And then we have the both of the black Nomads and the black Bel Airs. Black Nomads and black Bel Airs. I forgot to show people up here. Those, I'll put these down here. And we'll flop that here. Then we have the 1955 F100. Actually, it's a 56 F100, but they did a blooper on that. It's a 56 F100. Then we have the 1955 Bel Air. Buy extra stacks for that one. You know, I bought some, I don't know what I did, but I wish I bought some GE stocks, I don't know, 4 years ago. And those stocks, I don't know what happened, but those 3 stocks split. It was one stock. I bought one stock of GE. I think I bought like 50 shares. And all of a sudden, that one stock split into 3 different shares. And the amount of money that I've made on those 3 stocks is amazing. And I don't know what happened. Can anybody kind of tell me what? This is another awesome car. VW Beetle. It was one stock and then it split into 3 stocks. It's like, what the heck is that? And we have Datsun. You know, here's a car that was very disappointing. I thought this car was going to be extremely popular because it sells out every time it came out. I mean, they only did 3 of them. This came out in 23. And this was terrible. The sales on this was terrible. And I don't know why, because nobody had ever done this car. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do a car that's never been done. Oh, okay, well, I did it. Nobody bought it. Now, they're beginning to sell now, but, you know, give me a break. And then the same thing with the Badman. You know, I thought this would have sold out completely. I only did 1,000 of these. 1,000 Badmans. I mean, what, and that's, you know what it goes to? It goes to, you know, you think a car is going to be real popular, and it ends up to be just the opposite. Now, we've sold out of the Ford Tyrrell. I don't have those here anymore. Plus, those were a pit kit. But we completely sold out of those. And Sarah is putting together these GT40s. Silver, black, and gold. silver, black, and gold. These 3 pit kits. We're not allowed to sell them as a pit kit, so we have to sell them to you already assembled. Okay? And there are only 500 of these now. See, that's the thing is, you know, everybody's going to look at these cars 10, 15 years from now. Now, 15 years from now, I mean, I'm going to be 80 years old in 15 years. In 15 years, I'll be 80. Okay? So where are all these cars going to be in 15 years? Does anybody have any guess? Does anybody guess? Here's another one right here. Do you have any idea where all these cars are going to be? This is a 55 Bel Air, yellow with white back end. Where are all these cars going to be in 15 years from now? Do you have any idea? They'll be right where they are. No, they're not. I am selling out of one car about every 5 months. Okay, these are almost gone. We almost sold out of these. We only have about 12 of these left. The blue 55s. We only have about 12 of these. Just so everybody knows, okay? Just so everybody knows, everybody has a clear picture here, and that you don't have we have no back stock on all of these cars right here to here. Okay, these are all what we have left. This is all we have left of these 3 cars here. This is all we have left of these cars right here, of what you see right here. Same thing with these 3 here and 2 down there. A lot of these cars we don't have a lot of anymore. Now, Arbuckle, you're right. We probably, I'm one store. No store has done 45 exclusives in 4 years. But you know what? I've got inventory. And a lot of people don't. Now, at least the tariffs have got sorted out. China's falling apart. Their economy is imploding. They have no idea what to do with there's 2 thoughts about China. We could hope that the Communist Party collapses. That's what we could hope for. That the internal issues going on with China right now are literally are just tearing the country apart. That's what we could hope for. Could communism finally fall the way it is in China like it did in Russia? Who knows? Who knows? But what's going on right now with what Trump done, with how he played this tariff, put the pressure on them. Okay? Now, is it going to fix itself? I don't know. Nobody knows. We don't know if they've changed, okay? But other people have come to the table. And that's the key part, is how do you at least get things going? Like gas and oil. I tell you, I'm just saying that some things are going to be changing here pretty big. Brian, that won't happen. The Bible says China is a big player in the last days. Well, right now, there is a big Christian movement in China. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the 7-year tribulation. I'm talking the 1,000-year reign of Christ, which comes right after that 7 years. Okay? that is going to be a time. Now, there are some people that believe we're in that 1,000-year reign of Christ. There's a lot of theologic discussion going on with the New Testament or with Revelation, and like my brother Tim, he's more on the belief that Revelation is already been taken. It already took place in 70 A.D. and a lot of it has already taken place. And then I would get in discussions with him about the more arguments, really, about what about the the two witnesses, wormwood, a lot of things about the plagues, the seals. How did that all happen? If that's already happened, then where has that happened in history? And but China, we don't know when that time's going to be. Now, a lot of people thought that the last 4 years with Biden, just the absolute decadence of man, that the second of coming was coming. I'm not so sure. Chinese businesses were financing their current ops with future sales. Well, that could be true, but Bill came back from China last week, okay? And he had never seen. So Bill has gone to China about 100 times for the last 30 years. Bill has gone to China a lot, and he had never seen it like this before, ever. Even during 2008, he'd never seen it this bad. Well, in 2008, you could, or during the financial collapse, and even COVID, he couldn't get over there for 3 years during COVID because the lockdowns were too high. U.S. household debt is at an all-time high now. We need to live within our means. Scriptures say, store up stuff ourselves and the true Joe. Yes, that's true. But we also can be. I purchased a slot car off eBay. When I received it, I saw the Professor of Tinker on the box. I had not a clue what that was. Well, that's what I am. I am Professor of Tinker there, RC Flyby. That's all our slot cars. These are all our slot cars because they have my logo on them. Look at that. Professor Tinker. We are, let me put it this way. Professor Tinker, ProTinkerToys.com, with the correct investment, we could be number one on the internet. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that we could be number one on the internet with the correct. We need a facility, okay, and we could be bigger than Hobby Lobby. That's what I believe. I believe with the correct. Now, I'm not going to be in control. I would hire somebody else to do that. I'm just the face. I'm the face. I'm not in control. I think Daniel and Ryan could do a good job. But we could do more sales than Hobby Lobby. Just one internet place. ProTinkerToys.com. We could be that one location. I do. I believe it. I know a lot of people think, boy, Brian, you think really high. No, I have an unlimited imagination. That's what I have. If you could ever really get in my head and really see what I'm thinking, you would say to yourself, boy, this guy, it never ends. Ryan needs to quit buying new cars. Well, here's the situation. I guess he didn't buy a brand new one. He bought a used Nissan van, 8 passenger van, they don't make 8-passenger cars anymore. They used to make 8-passenger minivans, but they did away with the middle bench seat and put 2 bucket seats in. And so now it's not an 8, it says only a 7 seat, which is crazy. They used to be 8 seat, and then you could really put 9 if you wanted to squeeze another kid in that back bench. Because I had 2 Grand Caravans, great vehicles. The Grand Caravan was the best vehicle ever made. It had 2 bucket seats that you could technically put double people on them, especially kids-wise. And so they bought a used one. I got 140,000 miles on it. A used vehicle with 100,000 miles back in 2003 when I was selling cars was worth about $500. Now I guess they took their well then Brian needs to revise his financial planning. You buy for $5. So a vehicle that had more than 100,000 miles back in 2003 I would trade you $500 for it. You'd get 500. If the vehicle had over 100,000 miles back in 2008, or I mean 2003, you'd get $500. Now, all my cars that I own, all of them have almost 100,000. You work for $1. $1. You buy that for $5. $5. Brian needs to quit buying new cars. And then he traded his Jeep and so he got a used Chevrolet truck. He got a used truck. And he traded that in for a used truck. And a broken taillight. I do have a broken taillight on my van. I got to replace that this week. I'm going to be doing a video later today, another 4x4 layout. I'll be upstairs. I wanted to show you all the new cars, 415 and 410. All those are in stock right now. And that is today's show. We had a good 2.5 hours, or 2 hours and 10 minutes, 132 minutes. So 120 minutes is 2 hours. 2.5 hours. We've been on for 2.5 hours. I don't know how that can happen. 132 minutes. So that's, 15 minutes. That's right, 10 minutes. That's an extra 10 minutes. 132 minutes is 10 minutes. Yeah, because I thought I started at 1/4 after. Yeah, how did that work out? I thought I started the live stream 9:15. Oh well. So, we got 2 new assortments, SC 410 and 415. Don't forget to check them out. My favorites are these 2 right here. The Grand Sport and the Grand Coupe, or the Grand Sport and the Shelby Coupe. Awesome cars. We've got 10 people on X now. 10 people on X. We got 10 people on X now. That's awesome. But we don't know how many of those are real people. That's the problem with X. You don't know how many of them are real people, whether they're fake people, whether they're, a mirage. Okay, so where's Daniel? Yeah, where's all the Goner guns?
They're supposed to come today or tomorrow.
Okay. Because I thought she was shipping those out on Wednesday.
Yeah, so she said, this is exactly what she said. She said there was something that happened where they weren't scanning at the facility. So they got hung up 2 days.
Oh, got it.
I still don't have tracking. The tracking does not work. She gave me tracking, but the tracking doesn't work.
Got it.
She assured me that they are
They're FedEx though, right?
UPS.
Oh, they are UPS. Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I just want to know because I wanted to do a video on all the guns that were coming in.
Yeah, we're gonna do a video.
Yep. All righty. All right. Talk to you later. Okay, so now
ProTinkerToys. Yeah, let me give you over to the owner.
ProTinkerToys. They're about 60. They do. Well, I mean, which ones are you talking about? Are we talking Auto World hand throttles? Oh, those. Okay, because those are okay. So whenever Auto World makes a set, the colors of the hand throttles are always match like with the set. Okay. And those are your basic hand throttles. Those are your bottom. Those are just your basic bare bones hand throttles, and they're all the same. Auto World makes all the same. What are you looking for?
Look for that charging, the thing that you charge. Like
Why?
Because this is the thing for it.
I know. Where's the batteries are over there?
Are they? I just wanted to make sure.
Well, that's normally plugged into the. Anyways, and so the only difference is the Race Masters hand throttle, which is 120 ohms, and that will handle their faster cars with the. Everybody has their idiosyncrasies on how that hand throttle is going to affect them in the way they pull the trigger or push the button. All the Auto Worlds are all push buttons. Okay. Yes. No matter what, there's only one hand throttle they made. They don't have now. Race Masters makes the. That's item 21032, the AFX 120 controller, and that comes with a 6-foot cord too. And those are faster than the ones in their set. Those are 90 ohms. And then we have 35 ohm Ninko hand throttles, which people then cut and swap off the ends to an Aurora or an Auto World and attach it to a Ninko hand throttle. And those are 35 to 40 ohm. It just depends on how you want to race and where your speed wants to be. And if you buy a set, have you bought a set yet, or you already have one? Okay. So that is just full. You want something to give you full power. Well, and if you buy we sold out of the individual transformers that Auto World makes, but if you buy a Race Masters transformer, that I think there's three levels on that. I think the high level is 20 volts or 19 volts, but you can get more power. But even the Auto World set, the transformer that's in like the there's 3 sets that have that in it, like the figure 8 set or the Super 8. And then also the Winged Warrior set. That has the adjustable transformer, which will give you 24 volts high end and 9 volts low end. Oh, no, because that's battery operated. Do you have the drag strip set with the Christmas tree? Okay, yeah, so those are all battery operated. So that has nothing to do with power from the track. So you can put more power to the track and you won't affect that. Yes. Yep. Well, that's why you'd want either the Race Masters or the new adjustable one from Auto World, because you can go up to 24 volts. No, because the Christmas tree is all battery operated.
That's funny.
Yes. Yes. No, because that will connect to the end of your drag strip, which will bring your cars back up front. That's if you want you still put that there, then the car is still going to move another 5 or 6 inches to the powered track. Yes. Yes. Yep, exactly. Correct. Yes, they do make a bank curve. You get it in the winged warrior set is the 18-inch bank curved. Auto or a Race Master makes the 12 and the 15. Yes. It starts with 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Yes. Correct. Yep, everything's fine with that. Yep. Yep. Okay, that was a good thing. Hey, can you ask me, or can you tell me why this hasn't shipped yet?
Because it's what's up with that one?
What one is it? Is it that one down there?
Yes.
Just haven't gotten in a box yet.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is this was ordered on May 8th,
Mm-hmm.
and it should ship before any of these.
Correct. That's what we're doing.
Okay. Now, this is a pickup, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah.
And that one needs to be notified. Has that guy been notified? You gotta mark it ready for pickup.
Even though there's stuff that's missing.
Yeah, we're still gonna. When he gets here, we'll wheel and deal.
Okay, what are you talking about? Where did you find this, Mac?
I took it from the show. So I had all the devices.
Wait a minute,
set up.
wait. You took it from the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we were packing up, I put all the cords in my bag, and then when I unpacked, I was
No,
like,
it was for something else this was for.
yeah, the orange battery thing. That's what it was connected to.
Orange battery thing.
The same. What's it called? The battery pack?
This is the orange battery pack.
No, dude. There's an orange one. That's yellow. There's an orange one, and it goes to that. And so when I unpacked all my
No, this is that little tiny the little brick is the same as this.
that goes to something maybe. Maybe it goes to my. I could have sworn it went to the orange battery pack. It may be for my beard trimmer. I don't know.
No. I'm trying to think. There was something that
Like I'm pretty sure I accidentally took it from the show.
I know what it is too.
What?
Anyway. There's another. There was something else that was brought it back.
That's what I was saying.
I know. I got it. I was down at the shed.
Right, the orange one, right?
No, not the orange one. There's something else that was plugged in. What was the hell plugged in? Oh, why is he driving me crazy already?
It's from the show.
Oh,
I put it in my.
No. I know that. I was looking for the charger, and I said, "Wonder where that charger is."
Right, I wanted to make sure because
Nice.
nothing makes me more angry than not finding cords and.
Really?
Oh yeah.
There isn't anything angrier.
I mean, maybe liberalism, but purple hair.
Nerdy people.
No, nerdy people are fine. I get along with Xavier. He's super nerdy. He's so nerdy he didn't comb his hair this morning.
No, but he did something
I don't
else.
have a comb. I have a brush.
He did something else.
What did he do? What did he do? Did he shower?
Yes. All right, guys. X is out.
He showered.
Okay. Brian Young, so far out, he's in. Why is he so unorthodox? But his reverse imaging destroys the effect. Listen, I can't deal with this. I just got another ocular migraine. Unbelievable. Why am I getting these things? I went into a chiropractor, but okay, guys, we'll see you later on. I'm going to be doing a 4x4 layout here later. And we will see you later.
Hey, Brian, come here.